Yeah, let's give it a few minutes and we'll be getting started. So, and if possible, by any chance, would love to have your cameras on. We want to make this info session as interactive and engaging as possible. So if you're in a position to turn your camera on, would love to have your camera on. Let's do so. And yeah, I can see more people are joining in. We'll be starting in a minute or so. So while we wait, if you want to get prepared, you want to stretch, it's going to be a full hour, but I promise we won't hold you for a full hour. It could be less, but who knows? Let's see how it goes. But yeah. Um, I'm just waiting for maybe a minute or so and we'll get started. But yeah, as mentioned, as you come in, would love to have your cameras on. This is going to be an interactive session. So let's get those cameras on and we'll be getting started in a minute. Um, I think we can get started. So yeah, as mentioned, welcome everyone and good to have you on the call. I'll start off by doing some quick intros. So my name is Hubert. I'm a delivery manager at Circl and joined in, we've got Tom, who's going to introduce himself in a few minutes. And also joined in, we also have Victor and Scarlett, part of the Circl team. So over to Tom for some quick intros.
Thanks, Hubert, and hi everyone. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. We're really hoping this will be a helpful, informative, interesting session. And yes, I'm Tom. I joined the team about 18 months ago. My role is head of partnerships and culture, and my background is in kind of teaching, coaching, and in running a youth music charity in South London. And really think that the Circle program is a win-win and a great opportunity for young adults. So hoping that it's going to be of interest to you. And yeah. I will pass over, and thank you also to David from the team for having us today. So, going to pass over to Victor from our marketing team now.
Awesome. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it, David, and the 10,000 Black Interns team as well. It's such a great initiative and partnership that we've been able to cultivate with you guys. My name is Victor. I'm head of marketing and community at Circl. I've been here for just under a year. My job, as you know, is to kind of tell the story and tell the narrative of Circl and what it is that we represent. Circl is an organization that means a lot to me personally because it represents my people. And by doing so, it's something that I feel like I have a very important role in terms of telling the story, and also building the community. So again, thank you for everyone that's joined. From my own perspective as a participant of the Circl program, and I'm not just tooting the horn of Circl, it generally has been something that has built a lot of value for me personally, and something that I hope will be able to build a lot of value for you guys and your careers moving forward one day. So again, thank you for everyone for joining. Pleasure to meet all of you guys, and hopefully this is something that will bring you the value that I hope it will. Um, Over to Scarlett, my lovely marketing exec.
Thank you, Victor. So hi everyone, I'm Scarlett. I'm part of the Circle team as a marketing exec. So I look after our social media and community building. So lovely to meet you all today. I'm really excited to be here. And hopefully we'll see you join the Circle community soon. So yes, over to Hubert or Tom.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So yeah, this is the Circl team. And for those joining in, welcome. Good to have you on the call. And a big, huge appreciation to 10K Interns Foundation for hosting the call. And yeah, we'll be getting started. So I'm just going to share my slide and yeah, we'll get started. Um, And before I share my slide as well, and I just want to appreciate as well Ramal and Isaiah who joined in, part of our that, and yeah. I'll share my slide. So just a thumbs up if you guys can see my slide. Amazing. So as mentioned, welcome to the info session in partnership with 10K interns from internship to leadership. So this is building leaders of tomorrow through coaching. So a little bit about what we're going to be discussing. I'll briefly talk about the agenda and the purpose of the session. So first things first, we've done the welcome and introductions. You are going to get an overview of Circl and our program, what we do, who we are, and also get some insights as well and just some testimonials from the Future Leader alumni joined in. And there will be an opportunity for Q&A at the end and a little bit of discussion as well throughout the info session. And the whole purpose is for you to get an understanding of Circl, meet the Circl team, gain a clear understanding of the Circl program itself, and also engage and participate in the discussions and activities we are going to be having in the info session. And yeah, just lastly, there will be an outlay of the program expectations, the structure, and commitment as well. I will move on to the next slide. So yeah, I'm going to hand over this part to Tom.
Fantastic. Thank you, Hubert. So it would be great to encourage some voices from the room here now. And if you don't feel comfy to come off mute, then feel free to add your thoughts in the chat here instead. But we'd love to hear, whether people in the room feel confident in the difference between coaching and mentoring. So any thoughts on what you think the difference is between coaching and mentoring? And we'll just give you a minute or so to type out your thoughts, collect your thoughts, and feel free to come off mute if anyone feels comfy to share.
I'm not confident that I know the difference, but I'm confident enough to give it a try.
Cool.
And I think I've had this question before, and I think one of them's more of a kind of low level, more specific field based. So, for example, I think sales coach, they'll teach you about sales. They'll teach you, as they call it, the gift of the gab, I think, and everything that comes with that. Whereas one of them, maybe mentoring, is like a higher level, how are you managing your time, how's your communication, kind of checking sure that, you know, you're doing the work. It's more one of them is more personal. And one of them is more kind of just in the background and kind of giving them that gentle hand to follow through.
Nice. Thank you for your thoughts, Toby. Absolutely. There's definitely some truth in what you said there, and I can build on that in a moment. And great to see Funte. Thank you for mentoring is more informal perhaps, and coaching is more targeted. I think there's definitely truth in that as well. And so brilliant. If there's no one else to jump on out of you're welcome. If anyone else wants to add in thoughts here. If not, I can speak to those points. So that's great. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. There's definitely a more informal aspect to mentoring, and often it's more kind of conversational. It's often more long term. It's really about guidance based. I think picking up on something you said, Toby, is it's more kind of experience based and giving advice to someone based on maybe the industry that you've been in. So if you were interested in getting into finance, then someone 10 years down the road in finance would be an excellent mentor because they could tell you about things that have happened along the way for them, things to avoid, things to go towards, people to speak to. And on the flip side, coaching is much less about giving advice, but more about creating a space for people to think for themselves. So that's through questioning and listening. It's about almost being quite neutral as a coach, allowing someone to think for themselves and to come up with their own solutions to topics or goals that they might have. So that's kind of the key difference. And we really champion a coach approach. There's definitely space for both coaching and mentoring, and they really are both valuable. I think the confusion often with these things is that we hear things like sports coaching or voice coaching, which are quite kind of targeted skills-based things. And actually the coaching we're talking about here in the kind of professional setting is more a general helping someone with their goals and topics, but putting the onus on them to think for themselves. So hopefully that's feeling more clear. And the next slide, Hubert, is going to talk through a bit more about that. So to reiterate, coaching is kind of question first approach. It's about active listening, which is about kind of listening to understand rather than just to think what you're going to say next as well. And also about bringing challenge to someone to help them think for themselves. On the flip side, mentoring is advice. It's about knowledge and experience, and it's about providing guidance. A mentor might say something like, I recommend you speak to so and so, or perhaps you could apply for this job. Whereas a coach might say, what's your goal for the year? What's holding you back? Who could you speak to? So it's a flip, it's putting it over to you to think for yourselves. So coaching builds confidence, encourages growth, and replaces control with collaboration. So it's always guided by clear shared goals. So that goal setting aspect is really key as well, which we'll come on to in a second. Fantastic. Thanks again, Toby and Funto, and hopefully others, that's feeling clearer as well. So next up, we've got a quick task. And so if you're able to bring the slide back up, don't worry if you're now setting up breakout rooms, that's fine if not. But we're going to be putting you guys into pairs in breakout rooms. This is just a chance to practice a coaching skill. And this is an open question. So I think about to pop up on screen is a question which is, who are you and what else? And I'll demo this in a second with you, but just to show you what we mean by this. And really, this is about asking an open question which doesn't have a yes or no response. And then it's about getting curious and going deeper into that. So a simple question like what else can bring us so much, as we'll see in a moment. So in a moment, we're going to pair you off and you'll have 2 minutes with person A speaking to person B, and then flip it around, person B asking person A. And then you'll have 1 minute just to kind of reflect and chat on how that was. So we'll demo for you now, in case it's not feeling clear. So Hubert, you can come off mute.
Yeah.
So Hubert, tell us, who are you?
I'm Hubert. I'm a delivery manager at Circl, and I really loved my journey at Circl. I'm big on social impact.
Fantastic. Thanks, Hubert. And what else?
I'm a big Chelsea fan, although I've got some disappointing seasons with Chelsea. I'm still committed to supporting Chelsea.
It's a tough one for me to hear that, being a Man United fan, but that's fine. What else?
I'm a proud father of a 4-month baby girl and been loving the journey as a father.
And what else?
I love basketball and I do play basketball in my free time, and yeah, I've been enjoying it.
And what else?
Um, I do love to read books here and there, although I've not been consistent. I'm looking to go back to
And maybe one more. What else?
that. Um, I've been enjoying going out for walks, meditating and reflecting. It's made a huge impact to my day-to-day.
Fantastic. Thank you, Hubert. And hopefully, and also for those who just joined, welcome, welcome. We're just demoing this quick activity, and we're going to give everyone a chance in a moment to go out into pairs, into breakout rooms to try this out. And it's really simple. You ask, who are you? And then you follow up with what else, and you continue to ask what else a number of times as far as it feels comfortable. And it's really about peeling back who we are as individuals, and each of us carry a number of different things, about our identity, about things we're into or interests. For Hubert, that was being a dad. It's being, keen hobbyist, keen football fan, all these different things that make him who he is. So don't be afraid to kind of lean into that discomfort of what else, get curious. That's what coaching is about. It's about asking questions and getting curious. So hopefully that's feeling clear. If anyone's put in a breakout room where someone else has just joined the call, they're not so sure, maybe you could kind of give them a heads up of what this is about. But person A is going to speak to person B for 2 minutes and ask them the questions. And then you're going to flip it around. Person B is going to ask the other person for 2 minutes. And then you can have 1 minute to chat about it at the end before we pull you back in. So we'll just take a screenshot of the image to send in the breakout rooms as well. But I think we're all set for those. So whenever you're ready, Hubert, to put people into breakout rooms, and good luck.
Yeah, should be open now. Price looks like everyone is in a bit.
For young adults, and it's worth about £1,800. What we mean by that is that each program is split between young adults and professionals, and the professional side of things, they are sponsored by the companies they work at, and the payment they make also covers young adults to do the program. So it's completely free, it's fully funded for young adults. And we're keeping it that way for the foreseeable, because we feel these are really important skills for life that are going to help you to be work ready, and particularly the stage you're at in the internship space. This is a really exciting time to be picking up these soft skills, these life skills. So for 18 to 24-year-olds, it's free, and it's for we tell kind of underrepresented young adults. What we mean by that is a number of different kind of criteria, which are both kind of socioeconomic and personal factors. And we look at kind of 12 or 15 different criteria that we try to hit. And really, those all relate to things that are kind of typically less well presented in leadership positions when we look at the data. So it's all about changing the shape and the look of leadership as we go forward. And so, as mentioned, these are practical leadership skills for personal and professional life. I know, having done coaching training, that it's really helpful at work to be able to hold space, to be a manager, to look out for someone, to ask good open questions, but also personally with family, with friends, to be able to really listen and hold space and be non-judgmental in your listening is also really valuable. So for both personal and professional life. And finally, a core part of this is the Circl match, which is the professional that you're going to be matched with on the program. And this is a two-way coaching relationship. So you get to support each other through the program and learn from each other and coach each other. And that's a connection that people often take much beyond the program as well. And I think over to you now, Hubert, for a bit more about the program.
Thanks, Tom. So I'm just going to move on to the next slide. So as you can see, we've got 6 group sessions. So the whole program is fully online, either on Zoom or on Teams. So we have 6 group sessions fully online, where we have a qualified facilitator, a coach, who comes to deliver the content and to facilitate the group sessions. And on top of that, we also have your one-to-ones, where you're paired up with the Circl match. So this will be a professional from any background. You get to have them as your Circl match pair, and you get to engage in the practical aspect of the program. And yeah, so I'll just give you guys a few seconds to read through the sessions and let me know in the chat which particular session has caught your eye. Which particular session do you find interesting, or are you keen to know more about? I think as a future leader alumni myself, I thoroughly enjoyed session 4, which was maximizing growth through high support and high challenge. And it was just amazing going through that experience as well. Part of coaching is to ensure that we do give you support, but also providing a space of high challenge as well, accompanied by high support. But yeah, so I'll just give you guys a few seconds to read through the sessions and any particular session you guys have found interesting. Anyone wants to give it a go? If not, that's still fine. I will move on to the next slide. And yeah, just in terms of expectations and commitment, all we do ask, obviously, is in order for you to graduate and to receive your certification, which is recognized by the Association of Coaching, you need to attend at least 4 out of the 6 group sessions live, which is required for you to graduate. Also completing the 18 hours of coaching if you're able to, and also attending all your one-to-one sessions as well. And in terms of engagement, you will be having a dedicated delivery officer throughout the program. They're just there to support in terms of logistics in the group sessions and throughout the program as well, to ensure you have the best of the program experience. And yeah, and also we do have reflection forms. So this is just an opportunity to capture your key highlights and reflections throughout the program. It's part of the program experience, and in order for you to gain the most by reflecting as well. I'll just move on to the next slide. Yeah, a little bit about the future leader journey, as we call it. So once you do apply to the program, which is just a short 5 to 10 minutes application form you fill in. You will be invited for a 15-minute interview, which is ideally less. This is just more of an informal interview just to get to know you, your current circumstances, and how best we can support you throughout the program. There will be a Circl Match form sent in once you have been accepted onto the program. So the Circl Match form is just to capture any reflections, just to get to know a little bit more about you. And this kind of helps us as well when we do look for that Circl Match for you. So afterwards, you will be put on the waiting list and ready to be offered a program. So how we offer a program is based on the availability of the programs. We will reach out based on the schedule or the timetable or availability you've put in and offer you a program in that particular time slot. And from there, you will be onboarded for the Circl program in partnership with, it could be Barclays, it could be Pepper, it could be Rolls-Royce SMR. It all depends with the partnerships we have at that moment. And from there, you will have the 6 group sessions live, you will have the one-to-ones up until the end when you graduate and become part of our alumni. And also just to mention, before the program starts, we do have a future leader launch just to get you prepared. There is an opportunity for you to meet the point of contact for that partnership. So it could be the head of HR, it could be the CEO of that company as well. That will briefly talk about the partnership with Circl and the impact as well they're looking to make from the program. So yeah, that's a little bit about the future leader journey. And just to mention, there will be an opportunity for Q&A right at the end. If you guys do have any questions, hold on to them and we'll be more than happy to answer. I will pass on to Tom, who's going to talk a little bit about the Circl certificate.
Thanks, Hubert. So despite the program being, only 1 to 2 hours a week for 12 weeks, hopefully that's super easy to fit in around other things going on for you. This is an accredited program. So what that means is the Association for Coaching approved this program as something that can be, seen as, these are foundational skills in coaching. It's a certificate that you're receiving to show that accreditation of the course. And so this is a fantastic thing to have on your CV and on LinkedIn as well. And it's something that we can add to that and provide that certificate at the end of the program. So this is a win-win, an opportunity to really achieve something that is acknowledged by companies and something that more and more as Circl grows amongst big companies, is something that is really valued. The coaching skills are the future for leadership, and we really believe in these skills. So that's a big part of it as well. So next up, we have a little bit about kind of the impacts of our program to date. So we've had about 7 years now as a social enterprise. We've had 2,000 future leaders come through the program and also 2,000 professionals come through the program. And you can see there a breakdown of some of the demographics. So we work with 70% young adults from global majority or ethnic minority backgrounds, 52% are first or second generation immigrants, 13% of future leaders disclosed having disability, and 3% have previously been in care. So just to paint a picture of some of the demographics and criteria that we look at, but we have 12 or 15 different things that we track to make sure we're reaching young adults who need the program the most. And a few testimonials there as well. Anna spoke about how this has helped her communication skills and conflict resolution, and how much she enjoyed the learning as well. And Rochelle spoke to the connections that she made and the sense of belonging by learning alongside others on the program. And on any one program, you're with about 25 or 30 others. And obviously you have a mixture of the group sessions, but then you have your one-to-ones as well. So it's that nice combination of different things there. Next up, we have a bit about the community. So these are some of the companies on the right-hand side that we've worked with in the past. And a few of these are also appearing in the next kind of couple of months in terms of programs. So these are the companies where professionals are being sent to Circl to do the learning alongside our future leaders. And on the left, you can see a few photos of community events over the years where we've had an opportunity to go into, say, Google's offices or other offices to be part of a Youth Voice Day or Strategy Day. So wherever possible, we do look for those options as well. So while it's an online program, there are occasionally opportunities to go in and shake hands and meet people as well, which is obviously a very important part of it. I think it's worth noting also that even if you're put with a company that you're less familiar with, that there's real depth in the kind of different roles within that company. So you might have 15 professionals on a cohort. they'll each have different backgrounds, some in tech, some in finance, some in media, for example. So to stay open-minded to who you might connect with in that group and where that connection could take you in the future. So the Circl match, this is really at the core of what we're doing. And this is where we're matching the feature leader with a professional, as mentioned, where you'll be coaching each other and supporting each other through the program. So Mabina and Helen, an example from a couple of years ago, these guys were decided to meet up for coffees for their one-to-ones. Obviously, most people might be in different cities for their one-to-ones, so they prefer to meet on Zoom. But for them, I think it was really transformational, and they both commented on how it had helped them to break down misconceptions. So for Mabina, it was about learning that despite Helen being a kind of senior director, actually she was really approachable, really friendly, very much on the same level. And for Helen, knowing that Mabina, despite being only 22, could actually offer a huge amount of kind of perspective and helpful space as a coach to Helen. And we do hear that a lot, that there's genuine value added for the professionals as well. We heard from an eBay senior director who was going into a board meeting, and they had their Circl match coaching just before. They were feeling a bit frazzled about a particular bit about the meeting that was coming up, and the coaching session that they had with their match really helped them to shift perspective and go into that meeting with more confidence. So never underestimate how much that conversation could help someone, even if they're at a kind of senior level as well. So it's real genuine value added for the professional. Next up, I think we're just gonna finish this bit with a bit of a Q&A. So let's take a few minutes here for any questions. We've given you a lot of information. Thank you everyone for being super attentive. Anything that's coming up in terms of questions that we can answer, feel free to come off mute or put these in the chat if you want. Brilliant. So we've got a few hands up. So Clara May, do you want to kick us off?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much for this great presentation. I missed a few of the minutes at the beginning, but I wanted just to clarify. So is Circl a two-way form of coaching? So I myself as a younger professional and someone who else is a senior professional, we're adding value to each other. Okay,
Absolutely. Yes,
great.
you said it exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And then my second question is it always also focused on a career-based, or are there also sort of, I guess, entrepreneurial, skill-based matches that happen, or is it just specifically in the professional services?
So yeah, the companies we tend to work with are from a range, typically from kind of tech, finance, insurance, and a few other areas. So they're kind of your typical kind of big name companies, not so many kind of smaller startups, just because
Yeah.
of kind of financial commitment on the company side of things to then fund the positions for young adults. So it's the conversations within the coaching pairs can really be varied. It might be that, for example, if you had an entrepreneurial streak and you were looking to start up something, it might well be that the professional has gone down a similar route before, and that's where the connections and conversations can be really powerful. But yeah, the companies themselves tend to be on the bigger scale. Yeah, hope that answers the question.
It does. Thank you very much.
No problem. And we've got Simona Lulua as well.
Yeah, nice try. Yeah, you can call me Simi. Yeah, you had said the program is for 18 to 24-year-olds from underrepresented backgrounds. Well, some of us are late bloomers, and I was just wondering if it was something open to older candidates as well.
Sure. Yeah, we appreciate that. It can be difficult to kind of where to draw the line there, and we do stretch it to 25, 26, understanding that people can, later also be open to this opportunity. And then of course we have the professional side that is can be at any age. But for the future leader side, we do draw the line at 26. We understand that's not always feeling the most inclusive, but it's just where we've put it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
All
thank
right,
you,
that's fine. Yeah. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you both for your questions. Any others from the room or in the chat? Perhaps that's it for now, and that's fine. Oh, Gloria, go for it.
Hi, apologies, I missed the start of the call, but it's been really informative so far. On one of the slides that Hubert shared, there was I think it was an acronym TGROW. Like, what does that stand for? Can you share that at this time? Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. I appreciate I'm kind of hogging the answers here, so Hubert, please do jump in or even.
Yeah, no, sure. I think you can go ahead and briefly talk about
No
Tigro.
problem.
Yeah.
Sure. So Tigro is really a way of structuring coaching conversations. So it's kind of a foundational set of skills that really help you to feel confident going into, say, a 10-minute coaching demo. And so what it stands for is topic, goal, reality, options, and what's next. So really it's a way to take someone through a journey of, what's the topic you'd like to bring today? Let's say that was running a half marathon. Well, what's the goal? Well, the goal is to kind of build up to and do this in December. What's the reality at the moment of what's working well for you and what's working less well? Let's get into that. Let's explore that through some coaching questions. And then finally, it's, options for what's next. So exploring, what's going to help you stick to your training plan and get over some of those barriers. And finally, kind of one or two actions to take away. So it's a bit of a kind of arc of coaching conversation.
Thank you.
No problem. Great. Thanks so much, everyone. Any other questions? I think that might be good for now. And so let's keep moving. Thank you for that. Really appreciate the engagement. Yes. And so over to you, Hubert, to introduce our special.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you so much, Tom. And yeah, just going on to the next segment of the presentation, we are going to hear from future leader alumni. So we've got Isaiah and Ramel in the room. I'll just quickly read both of their bios and I'll pass it on to Isaiah, and the next stop will be Ramel. So Isaiah completed the Circl Leadership Program in partnership with Whedon and Candy, where he developed coaching and leadership skills to help drive positive change. He's also part of the 10,000 Black Interns alumni, having worked as a tech intern at Winterford Securities. And I'll just read Ramal's bio as well. So Ramal Thompson Bell is an international business management student and current cooperative group youth board member. Previously one of the co-op young business leaders, he now focuses on creating youth-led partnerships that unlock opportunities across the cooperative movement, backing social entrepreneurs, organizations, and activists to drive better outcomes for society. So yeah, so I'll pass it on to Isaiah, and next up, Ramal.
Yeah, so hi everyone. My name's Isaiah, as he said. And I don't know, I think when it comes to the Circl program, the main thing I can say is just how much it surprises you how you can actually help people who, in a lot of ways, are way ahead of you. Because when I first begun, I think I was 18, something like that. And my Circl match was someone who was a bit older than 18. He had, children, everything. So he was a senior marketing executive at Wieden and Kennedy. So at first glance, you'd think to yourself, how can I actually add value to this person, as somebody asked? Because it's quite hard to believe before you start. But if I had to narrow it down to one thing that I learned from being on the program, it's that humans are very good at finding the answers when they're asked good questions. And that's effectively what you learn to do through the Circl program and through coaching. It's very focused on helping you to ask questions that narrow down where the other person is at and have them use their own context, their own brain, their own experience to find the best solution to their problem. And because you're harnessing what they've got already in their mind and through their experience, you don't have to have as much experience as them or even any of the experience that they have, because you're harnessing what they've already got. And so it gives you this really good skill to be able to help people who are from a completely different background to you or having a completely different experience to you and are experiencing problems that you've never actually encountered yourself. And it's empowering to know that you can help people if you haven't actually done what they are trying to do or have done yet. So I'd say that's the most valuable thing. And I think in terms of a time that I use those skills, I can literally give the example of my Circl match during the program. He was thinking about starting a business, and through our conversations, we were able to get down to the root cause of the issues that he was facing in terms of actually taking the leap. And I think that's really cool because I think it was 1 year ago, 1 or 2 years ago, where I saw on LinkedIn, he actually started his business. So obviously we can't attribute that fully to the coaching conversations, but there's definitely things that we encourage during that where we actually where he told me that I helped him to get to the bottom of reasons why he was hesitating and what sort of plans he wanted to put in place to eventually get it started. And obviously, he did end up getting it started because it's actually a real thing now. And lastly, in terms of advice I give to people who are just starting into leadership, I think just remember that you can coach other people and you can also coach yourself, and that if you coach yourself first, coaching other people becomes a lot easier.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Isaiah, for that. I'll just pass it on to Ramal.
Thank you, Hubert. My goodness, when I think about Circl, I look back on a remarkable transformation in my own leadership in the way I approach business. I think I'll say just a big thank you to Circl. I think when we look at the future of leadership, I think when we look at the world today, I was someone who paid attention to the global side of things. When you look at a global governance, for example, that's a number two priority for the whole of societies now, because we're facing, I think, really big times of trust erosion and polarization. So we're witnessing now a shift to inclusivity, human-centric, empathy-conscious style leadership that ensures no one is left behind, and Circl are at the forefront of that agenda. I think when I look back at the experience for myself, I think from a personal perspective, the promotion of things self-regulation within me, for someone who stammers, someone who's gone through quite a lot and is quite proud of their own journey. So the promotion of my own self, and I think to transform any business, to transform any team, you have to transform yourself first. So I thank Circl for that. When we look at coaching as a leadership style and the coaching ed framework, it's an effective tool for your portfolio. It's the promotion of a strong dialogue and viable partnership building in terms of the high support and high challenge techniques. So I particularly view coaching as a form of, as humans, I think it's a human capital development methodology. It is to me, and demystifies leadership in such a poignant way. In terms of when I've used my coaching skills across my portfolio, across the governance role that I hold. I integrated the coaching style into the voice of the business and in terms of one project that my team and I worked on, in terms of board meetings and holding execs to account from high support and high challenge, and coaching, it mirrors governance in a way, in terms of it's such a strong fit, in terms of some of the skills that I've used. And I think in terms of advice I'd give to leadership, and I'm very passionate about our leadership. I think what I found is you can have your hard work, the dedication, the risk appetite, but I think great leaders are very curious people. The curiosity of your business lines, curiosity of your team, curiosity of your people, and they're active learners. So you work with the best and you learn from the best. And I've often said that I think the resilience through adaptability, particularly as young people, will also be anchored to our principles as well. So it's really key for us to understand, to build an inclusive environment, that we need to understand our operating principles and where we're coming from, and that goes back to that promotion of self regulation, to inspire people, and to build a very good team. So I'd say particularly Circl has highlighted and promoted for me the emotional intelligence, the emotional IQ, and I think a great leader will satisfy that key component. And then you can also build and look at social intelligence and general IQ as well, but particularly on the emotional side, investing in the emotions is good. And I'd say to anyone who's in leadership is that I think when you're walking in those spaces of authority, remember your champions and have coaching as a core principle uh, to to the way that you are. And I think like our coaching allows us to go on that self journey and to work on a certain goal, declare those goals, be intentional about your personal ambition and the organization that you're walking into, and coach your way to brilliant partnerships and build a viable, inclusive network of partners and brilliant teams.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Ramar. And yeah, just a huge thank you to Isaiah and Ramar for sharing their journey, advice, and the impact coaching had on their journey as well. We're going to open up the space for some quick fire questions to Ramar, Isaiah, and myself. I mean, I'm a Future Leader alumni, so if you want to hear it all, we are going to open up the space for questions. So any questions you may have to us? Yes, Gloria.
Apologies. Thank you for sharing your stories both. It's a bit of a rogue question, my apologies, but how often is it that throughout the coaching or throughout the experience, the organization may have like vacancies which are suited for the young leader?
Good question, Gloria. To be honest, trying to look at the best way to answer it. I mean, the core focus of the program itself is the Leader as Coach program, but then we've had a few, I would call it case studies where we've had future leaders and their circle match, meet up in the office in person. They got to meet maybe a team within the business they're looking to go into, and from there, they got to have an internship and yeah, basically just climb up the professional ladder. So we do have a few case studies. But I think all to say, it's something we as Circl, we also looking to build up in the future. So definitely it's something coming up as a Circl that we're building up. But yeah, hopefully that answers the question, Gloria.
It does. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think as well, we've got the marketing team here, Victor and Scarlett. They can briefly talk about as well some exciting projects we do have in the pipeline as well. I saw Clement had his hand up.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, it's a question for that's open. What has been your most memorable moment on the Future Leaders program, or the moment where it was quite pivotal towards what you're doing now?
Oh, good question. Isaiah, Ramar, do you want to take it up?
Yeah, I don't mind going first. I think it gets to a point where you'll go into your first session and you'll be sat facing someone who is very different to you. And to go from there to the point where you actually realize that you have genuinely helped them, I think that's the most memorable part that I have, because I think you can tell the look on someone's face when you're not having just a surface level conversation, you're actually talking about something that they genuinely care about. And I think, as I said before, asking good questions is how you get there. You find out what motivates people, what drives them. And I think that first moment where you feel like you've got into something real, that's something you don't really forget.
Okay, thank you.
Nice. Ramar, do you want to jump in or?
Yeah. I'm just in thought. I think a moment there are quite a lot of moments. I think when it's about when you know the coaching's working, when you know that when that person undergone that thought process. I started to when the very early set of the program. Now I was working with not on my circle match, but in somebody else's, and going through a goal they wanted to achieve, and exploring different perspective, and really spent a lot of time in the reality and options section. We're really trying to dig deep and really promote that deep thinking and active listening and encouraging them along that way. So that I think that was the key time very early on where the perspective that they needed or the strategy that they needed to achieve the goal was achieved, and we really celebrated that within our breakout room. I think that towards the end of the program, with in terms of a one-to-one and witnessing that, and I think from the coach looking in, the feedback that I got was testament to that journey that both of us, as much as had been on. So there were quite a lot of moments to when the coaching methodology was in its optimal state. Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice. Any other questions?
Hi, I have a question. I don't know how
Yes,
to put my
Alexia.
hands up, so I'm just
Yeah.
going to speak like this. First of all, thank you so much for all your insights. It's really good. I am kind of curious as to what your motivations were for applying to be a future leader with Circl, actually. This can be open to anyone as well.
That is such a good question because I remember when I first began, I was in my gap year, so I hadn't even started university yet. And I remember first seeing I think I saw it in a newsletter. And obviously, when it comes to coaching, there was nothing in my mind where it was like, where I was thinking that coaching is something that could apply to me. Coaching is something that, you get when you're, as someone said, for football coaching or something like that. So it wasn't obvious to me why coaching would be relevant to someone like me. And I think that's the position most people are in when they first hear about it. But for me, well, to answer your question specifically, my motivation was the chance to get involved to get close with people who are in cool companies who are doing interesting things in different industries. The chance to actually speak one-on-one with people who are in that doesn't come along that often when you're, just beginning your career or even before you've started university or after that. So it's harder to find those opportunities, but something like the Circl program allows you not only to get that opportunity to speak to people, but also allows you to gain confidence speaking to people like that, because you find out that no matter what position someone is in life or what company they're in, no matter how prestigious the role might be, everyone is just a normal person, and you really find that out from being on the program. So that's what I got from it. But the reason I began, honestly, was just to get the opportunity for that. And to be honest, for a certificate as well. That when you're looking for different sort of things to put on your CV at that time, it's quite an attractive thing. So I think that's what was in my brain at the time.
Thank you. That was really good, Isaiah. If anyone else wants to answer.
Yeah,
please.
I'll come in. Yeah, please. My motivations, I think, by the time I started the program, I've already kind of built a portfolio of interest in companies and different things I'm doing in terms of governance and social mobility in different business and different within the cooperative business. So when I saw this opportunity, I something new that this was perfectly aligned for me, and someone who's very passionate about leadership, who's passionate about growing themselves and undergoing career trajectory. So I found I think I just said it to you, but in my interview, that Circl is the kind of organization that would get my stakeholding. And then I was just blown away by how fantastic the team is, and that's a testament to the hard work that they do. But yeah, motivations stemming from a passion and a commitment to inclusive leadership, a commitment to social um, aspects of life and diversity, equity, and inclusion. I lost my train of thought then. But yes, so I just found Circl to be such a fantastic organization overall, and that will get my stakeholding because of those reasons.
Thank you so much, Ramel.
Amazing. Thank you so much for the questions and obviously the answers and contributions from Isaiah and Ramal. Just conscious of time and obviously just moving on to the next segment. Yeah, I think I'll leave it up to Tom to discuss about what's next and yeah, just wrap it up.
Fantastic. Thanks, Hubert. Yeah, if you're happy to bring the slides back up, we'll just do a quick final point here, really. But yeah, massive thanks to Isaiah, to Ramel, for their contributions and reflections, and also for everyone else for engaging, for asking questions, and for connecting in the space. And so here we are. So this is the application form via the QR code here, and we would love to receive some applications. We really think this is a win-win at this stage in your kind of professional journeys, as you've heard. And Hubert's added the link in the chat as well. We'll be following up with an email after this as well, put together by our fantastic marketing team. And I think, the point being to really stay connected as well. And in a second, we'll bring up those kind of Instagram and various social media channels that you can follow us on. I think the final point I'd make is just when I became a certified coach, it was really expensive to train in coaching. And when I accessed coaching myself as a young man, it was really expensive to get a coach. And even in a kind of non-expensive coach is expensive. So this is an opportunity to learn coaching skills and to access coaching for free. And that, I can't tell you, if I could rewind and go back, that's a massive opportunity. So really, really think it's a win-win at this stage in your careers, 1 to 2 hours a week for 12 weeks, as you know. So not a massive commitment, but hopefully a lot of impact that you get. So massive thank you again. We're going to just go to the final slide, I think, which is just a reminder to stay connected and also to follow up with any questions you have for us. And just a huge thanks to David and the team and for all of you for attending, for your energy today, for joining for the full hour. So thank you for that. And so, yeah, back to you, David, I guess, for any final points or questions.
Yeah, no, thank you so much, guys. I mean, Tom, Hubert, Ramel, Isaiah, everybody that spoke, thank you so much for joining us today and for giving us all those insights. Look, guys, as you've heard throughout the session, there's so much value to this program. There is so much in it for you. And, you're getting it absolutely free. So, it's kind of a win-win all around. So please, guys, do consider it. Do stay in touch with these guys. Emails will be going out. I will also be putting out more information in all of the alumni group chats. So please just keep an eye on those. I will also be sending follow-ups to everybody who registered for this event, including a recording of this video and perhaps the slides as well. So if you did miss anything, I know a lot of you joined a little bit later. Don't worry, I will send the recording to you guys so that you've got all the information that was said earlier. But yeah, I mean, if you have any questions, all of their details are there, so please do reach out to them. But yeah, other than that, guys, really do appreciate your time today and have a lovely rest of your week. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye. Thanks to all you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
The comments too. Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.